So I'm looking forward to this lunch and cook experience. We have a few new people here, so really nice to see some new people joining this session. Just a very brief introduction. I'm Gray Caws. I'm a personal trainer. I teach running technique, qigong, and also breath work. And this is how I met Panagiotis, who is a fantastic coach, a great nutritionalist, and who suggested, rather than what we usually do on a Friday afternoon as a lunch and learn, where we discuss various topics, maybe have presentations on various health and fitness topics, is let's do a lunch and cook, so we can actually all cook together, share the experience and eat together as well. So I've never done this before. I don't know if anybody else has done this before. So I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. So I will introduce you to Panagiotis. Panagiotis, thank you for this. I'm really looking forward to this experience. Over to you, sir.
Hi, great, thanks. Thanks very much. So I actually haven't done it either, so let's see how it goes. But the idea here is we prepare something really simple, something that we can have in any day or any day of the week where we're running and think, oh, what should I eat? And that's things that we can stock up in our fridge, just create something in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we'll see how much it takes. And yeah, in this lunch and cook session, let's cook together, have some fun, and nice chat for the next hour. I think that's about it. So for me, I think that this is a ketogenic style type of cooking, something I actually make myself and for the family as well quite often on a weekly basis. So if you want also to get introduced to a ketogenic style type of diet, then you can see how easy it is, how yeah, approachable it is. It isn't restrictive or anything. And then you can tell me your opinion at the end as well. And Gray, if you want, or if we have everyone from the audience, then we can start. Should we start, Gray? Maybe Gray has some.
Sorry, I muted myself. Don't worry, I'm back. I was just gone over to the stove so we can start. I just muted myself, so I'm going to go on mute and I'm going to be over there so we can start straight away whenever you're ready. Brilliant, thank you.
So as you've seen probably in the ingredient list, we need 4 shrimps with creamed spinach. Really easy but delicious recipe. We need shrimps, so I hope I'll just go through with you the ingredients. Shrimps, some mussels, spinach, cream, and then depending on your taste, we will add some coriander or parsley or this type of thing, a fresh onion, maybe some garlic if you have, some lemon to finish off, and we will of course need olive oil and salt and pepper. Okay, so if you're all ready, we'll just need a nice pan here. We will also prepare at the same time a little salad, broccoli, very simple. So if you're ready, let's basically start by putting some water to boil. That's step 1 for the broccoli salad. I have it already, just put it on. So we'll start in a couple of minutes, it will be boiling. So I have already here cut some broccoli, so you can feel free to cut it now if you want. And we'll put this to boil, just needs 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll also turn on this thing here, and if it makes too much noise, I can always close it. Okay, so first step is and really simple. We open up our stove at high heat, and we need high heat because we're just putting frozen, mostly things here, shrimps, frozen. So we want them to not boil, but actually stir fry a bit. So let's we'll wait for a couple of minutes until the stove is hot, and we'll just put in the prawns. Of course, if anyone has any questions or wants to also chit chat, just you can feel free to go unmute, right? So this is really a lunch, cook, and chat session. The only thing that's missing is the wine, but I think we'll do just fine. Maybe you do have a glass of wine nearby. Okay, so the stove is getting hot, so I'll just put in just as a bottom basically some shrimps. The whole 250 grams. So just so immediately the prawns. I mean, if you had time, you could defrost them, but that's not really necessary for the purposes of the recipe. Just put it here on the pan and it will evaporate in a sec. So then we'll put olive oil and salt. So while it's preparing, why do we choose prawns? First of all, easy option, right? So again, the point is just very easy recipe, but also it's good to, and I always suggest to people that we need to incorporate a bit more some fish into our diet. So, and shrimps are a very good source of protein. We always start our meals with protein. I'll also add the mussels here as well. So I got 4 mussels here as they come from the box, but again, we will take out the shell in a second. Yeah, shrimps are a very good source of protein, zinc, magnesium, selenium. Mussels are actually a superfood. So they have just 4 mussels have more or less 100% of what we need from manganese perspective. And it's really important that we get plenty or some mussels through the week. Okay, so now the shrimps are already going. So I'll add some extra virgin olive oil. And also salt. So salt, unless you have high blood pressure, then just salt your foods to taste. I think it's really important that we get salt in our diet. So this is sea salt, and yeah. So now the water here next to me is boiling for the broccoli, so I'll put that in. And we can always add some salt as well to the broccoli. Right, so shrimps actually literally take a couple of minutes. So we could really just finish the dish maybe even here if we wanted. And now we'll add, or let's give it a minute or more, we'll add the spinach. So yeah, I was saying about fish. Fish is quite important, at least once a week. It's important. We also get plenty of omega-3s. So it's always good to have some fish. But the most important, and that's why we were discussing with with gray is that how easy it can be to actually cook a delicious but nutritious as well meal without any fuss. So actually, this meal now is faster from ordering a takeaway pizza, right? Or going to the nearby fast food and buying something. And really, with this meal, we're getting really most of our essential or requirement of vitamins and minerals. So, okay, so then we will add the spinach now. So just a cup or as much as you need or you want. I would not overconsume spinach, to be honest. So they're a bit high on oxalates, and it's best to consume spinach also with some source of calcium, so like cheese. But for the purpose of this recipe, I think it's just fine. So we'll add a bit more salt, just so the don't have a blunt taste. What else? I also have here some garlic. We'll just add it right at the end. So I'll just now in the meantime prepare a bit. So I have a fresh onion and a clove of garlic. So we'll cut it and we'll just put it right at the end. So the reason we put it right at the end is we don't want the garlic to just burn, because it doesn't leave a nice taste, but also because it has compounds which get destroyed if you overcook it. So we really need to just heat up the garlic rather than really cook it. So that's always a nice little tip for you guys. Okay, so here are the preps for right at the end. So first of all, let's add our garlic, our cream. So we take the cream, we add it inside, and now we will let it just cook for a sec, just to get a nice texture. We should also lower the heat, as all the water now has actually evaporated. So this will create also a nice sauce for our meal. You can always check later on. We'll check for salt, pepper, olive oil, etc. So we'll just leave it here for a couple of minutes. I'll check my broccoli if it's ready. Just a minute more. Here the dish is ready. We'll just leave it for a sec, just to simmer. I'll put the cream away. And I'll just finish off the dish with adding some coriander, which is just fresh cut, but you can also have other options if you want. And just the fresh onion and the garlic. Just give it a little mix. just everything comes to temperature. And that's the recipe. I think we're actually done. How much? 15 minutes, even less. Let me finish with the broccoli. So here's our broccoli salad, which we always finish with olive oil. First of all, I didn't mention, but I mean, I cook always with olive oil and butter, nothing else. Right? And for salads, only olive oil. So that there is no other option on the table. So we put salt, and here you can choose either lemon or apple cider vinegar, and I go with apple cider vinegar. It has plenty of benefits, but also it fits the taste. What is my taste? But in the recipe we have lemon, so you can do that as well. So meal is ready. We will just put also some lemon, and just here another little tip. So lemon potassium gets destroyed by heat, so it's better as well, also for taste reasons, to add if you to your recipes lemon usually at the end. So we will just put some lemon, just again to mix up the tastes. And there we are. Let me serve. So how easy is that? Any comments, questions, or anything, guys? Are you also ready? So let's add the broccoli here. And clean up a bit. And here's our delicious meal. And really with no fuss, right? So let me grab a fork and see what we did. Ray, are you fighting with a hope, or was it?
I've got mine. Has everybody got theirs? That's fantastic. I got the wrong onion. I got a full, when you like, I just got a normal onion. I'm like, we haven't put the onion in. And then I realized it should have been a spring onion. So I'm missing my fresh onion at the end, but everything else looks fantastic. How's everybody else got on? I can see steam coming from, is that Tom? There's Tom. I can just see steam and no Tom.
I think that the important thing here is that it's really for me, until also someone kind of has any other things to comment. It's really the how I build every meal, basically. First of all, I could do that a similar type of logic with also, let's say, ground beef. So you can have some ground beef, add some veggies maybe, or some spices, and then next to a salad. So we always start with a protein source, then we add our sources of vitamins, minerals, in this case salad, and then if naturally you can add some more sources of, since we're talking about the ketogenic style meal, you can add some more fats like extra virgin olive oil. So and that's can be as simple as that. I mean, or we can put a lot of science into it, but I think let's try it actually and see first of all if it tastes good.
Yeah, forget the science. What does it taste like? So I can see Tom tucking in. Who else is cooking? Let's have a look. I'm going to go on to. So Keith is cooking as well. Joe, Joe's eating. Joe's eating.
I am. It's gorgeous.
It's really easy and it is really tasty.
Like you, I got a real onion ready. So I threw it in at the big.
I mean, it's just details, fine printing, let's say. I think it's this is basically a delicious meal anyway to eat.
That's so tasty.
We had a real onion as well, but we found an emergency spring onion.
Ah.
Perfect. I mean, usually you could have the onion. Okay, now it cannot be spring onion, but fresh onion on just at the start before you add the springs. But that basically complicates a bit the recipe. So
Yes,
I always try nice and simple.
Let's see now, yeah.
how's Keith getting on? Looks good. Impressive kitchen there, Keith.
I forgot to put the mussels in, so they're just about to go. Quite easy. You did.
I did cheat a little bit on the mussels because the only ones I could get were the vacuum packed ones that are in a garlic and cream sauce. So I had a bit of the sauce to start off with, but I'm obviously adding the cream. It's really good. And Jen,
mussels, perfect. I love mussels. I mean, actually the way I prefer to do the mussels like traditionally as well is that with a red sauce as well. And you can put some maybe aubergine or zucchini, and it's kind of a traditional meal in Greece. So
with a what sauce? Sorry, I missed the sauce you said. The mussels with a sauce, Panagiotis?
Yeah, mussels with red sauce, with zucchini and aubergine. And it's always typically served in Greece as an appetizer. So it's with fish, with other fish, etc. But it's really a must-have, I think.
Oh, that can be our next one then.
Yeah, can be.
We don't usually buy mussels, but we don't have mussels. But a fish shop had them, and I wasn't sure how much they would cost. And Karen said 50p, and I thought, oh, each. She said, no, total. Oh, right.
The ones I found here or from New Zealand. So, and of course the box showed at whatever 10 euros. So it's not cheap, yeah. But you only need really, because it's that type of food that has so much nutrients. You don't need really to make a proper meal out of it. So just for example. And we get a lot of especially minerals.
So good. And protein-wise, you're getting a good lot of protein out of this then, with the mussels and with the prawns and.
Mm. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3
So Nikolaya is watching. Are you eating there? You're observing to see how it's all going, yeah?
Hi, Nicolia. Nicolia told me she wanted to join, but her English is not perfect. So
yes, my English is very bad.
Ah.
I want watching only today. I have already eat something. I eat fish. But I want to see what Panagiotis are cooking on, and I can say he's a very good cooker. Very good.
Yes.
thank you, Nicolia.
Some nice simple recipes which are great.
Yes.
Are you over in Greece at the moment then?
Yes, I'm in Greece. And yes, I love all this what Panagiotis today cooking, shrimps and τα μύδια, πώς τα λένε Παναγιώτη πάλι τα μύδια? Sorry, maybe mussels. I love it. And what he says with the red sauce, I make it too. It's very, very delicious, very delicious.
We've got to get that one. You can't tease us with that recipe and then we not do another one. So that's got to be the next one. I'd be interesting to.
Yes, it's very. You're going to be happy when you eat this.
Yeah, that's true actually. What's the weather like over there? Because I was just talking to a friend here. Because
we have sunny in this moment. And we have 17 grad, πώς λέγεται στα
degrees. Yeah.
Degrees. So sorry. I always say my English is very bad, but I try.
It's better than my Greek. Because a friend of mine is in Crete. And they said they'd had really stormy weather. And actually, because in the UK at the minute, we've got about the same as you. It's about 17 degrees and sunny. It's beautiful here. So that's good.
Last week, Nicolia, it was winter, right? So up north as well, it's snowing, right?
Yes. We have 2 days. It's very nice weather, but here in Greece, okay, I wait. In 1 month we be going swimming. I live here on the sea. It's right. Δίπλα στη θάλασσα, δίπλα.
Yeah, you said by the sea. Yeah.
By the sea. By the sea. And it's okay.
And are you? So you're in Naxos, presumably.
I was there in Naxos. Yes, it's very nice. I come from Norden, πώς λέγεται πάλι στα αγγλικά, Παναγιώτη, North from North Greece. From Kavala.
So it's close to Thessaloniki. So
yes,
great.
Close to Thessaloniki. Yes.
Not in the islands.
Right. Not in the islands, but I have this. I'm by the sea.
Well, that's the good thing by being by the sea.
Yes.
Greece has
only 5 minutes with the feet. I can walk there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How's Keith getting on? It looks as if he's eating. Your mussels are done.
Panagiotis polynastema.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Do you speak Greek?
No. So for me, I mean, now actually the weather is perfect here in Germany. And I cannot believe how, for how many years I've been here, I've never seen such March. It's and it was actually snowing back in Greece like a couple of weeks back. So it's very crazy weather, but I really also want to go back to Naxos as soon as possible. Great, since you mentioned Naxos, I think it's the sea is something I miss as well.
So sea temperature now over there, what sort of temperature would the actual sea be?
At the moment, probably it never goes, I think, below 15 or 16 degrees. So it's cold this, but not so cold.
Panagiotis, what would be the Greek name for this dish?
I mean, I don't know, to be honest, but
Make one up.
Garides and spinach is spanaki. So I guess with garides me spanaki or something of that sort.
It's very nice.
So it's not a Greek recipe. So I like obviously Greek recipes. I always modify them or bring them a bit more to ketogenic, what I believe is more healthy. But that's a simple modification, so that the basis here is really have healthy, whole food ingredients, and then it's bound to taste good, unless you burn it or overcook it or something like that.
Jen did say she didn't have time to cook, but she did enjoy it, and she just had to nip off. So she thanks you very much. She's just
If you, I mean, we could make this a monthly event. I really like cooking. I think it's since I'm into nutrition, I think it's the basis. The kitchen needs to be the basis somehow of our health as well. So if there is interest, yeah, I would be probably happy to do something like that on a monthly basis. So just share ideas. Maybe someone else can, some of you guys can cook next time, and just we share ideas.
And that's not buying a cake from the local supermarket and bringing it down and opening the box.
It can be just
You're getting the ice cream out. This is delicious. Would you eat this typically at this time of day, or I suppose it's like a lunch meal, or?
Yeah, I would probably. I mean, I mostly go with time. So I have my first meal during lunchtime. So I usually do intermittent fasting for 16, 18 hours. So these days I break my fast around 12 o'clock. And if I'm in between meetings, I just do something really fast. It could be something like that, 15 minutes, or maybe an omelette with some mushrooms or anything which is really quick. And then I reserve something more, let's say, more prepared maybe, but on the same mindset for the evening. So I usually have my last meal 5, 6 o'clock, and yeah, but always based on protein. If I do choose to have a bit more carbs, then maybe I add. If I have a salad, for example, like I have a cabbage with an apple, for example, or something of that sort. And usually dinner I keep always ketogenic, so little carbs apart from basically what you see now, like broccoli, spinach, this kind of things.
For me, it would be nice to have some soda bread, but would that be too many carbs?
Bread. Gray. Someone is.
Yeah, sure. I will.
Yeah, sure. I just said that. For me,
I heard you. You asked about bread. Look, I think bread is the whole carb topic is a very big discussion, obviously, but it's not about the carbs per se. So in this case, bread. So bread, I feel very strongly about, because usually it's refined, right? So when we're talking about white bread, it means it's bread that has basically all its nutrition removed. So bread needs to come in its whole form, with the stem and the corn, etc. And the reason why it's refined is because all companies want to keep it on, have a longer life on the shelf, right? So 1 year or more. Whole corn, the whole corn actually doesn't have a big life cycle. So, but still, if you want to have bread, I would only go with whole grain bread. And then carbs actually depend on the person. So if you, and the other point is if you can digest it, right? So a lot of people, especially people I work with, have issues that get resolved as soon as they remove carbs, like flour, refined carbs, or generally carbs because of the gluten. So if you go through this process, so whole grain, you do not have problem with with the gluten, then it's a matter of how much amount of carbs you can actually process. Because as we go old, the insulin drops, so it's a bit more difficult to manage carbs. On the other hand, having said that, I think in the morning, if you have breakfast, having a slice of bread with an egg on top is a very good choice. So I don't think, unless your goal is to be in ketosis and really have ketones, then you can probably go with that. Although I think there are better options of carbs. So, for example, fruit, I consider them a better source because of all that, let's call them anti-nutrients. I hope I covered you.
Yes.
Arabella has just joined. Hi, Arabella. You've missed our cooking. So if you've got any questions, please do put your camera on or put your mic on and ask any questions. But we've just really enjoyed our prawns and shrimps and mussels and spinach and cream. I have a question about drinking with a meal. I know you said we're missing the wine, so having wine with it. Would you like, I've heard certain things where you say, yes, drink water with a meal, or you shouldn't be drinking with a meal, or you shouldn't drink before a meal or after a meal, as in just water. Would you recommend drinking or not drinking?
Good question. I would say you find a lot of things on social media about avoiding water, say 30 minutes before and 2 hours after, because it messes up with the digestion. Water actually helps with the digestion. So I would say that before dinner, lunch, or any meal, actually, you should have some water, a glass of water, maybe with also some salt and some apple cider vinegar. All this help digestion. And if you want to have a glass of water as well during your meal, I think it's totally fine. You don't want to go overboard, so have too much water. But from a, let's say, percentage perspective, the water, so the gut or the stomach as well, you would have to dilute and change the pH. You would have to drink a lot of water, so maybe a liter or so, or plus 1 liter and plus. So I think 1 or 2 glasses, or 1 glass with your meal is totally fine. So even so, and a glass before actually helps with the digestion. So I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest.
And the apple cider vinegar and salt, what is the reason why you would add that to water?
Yeah, so apple cider vinegar. So our pH in the stomach. So typically we say pH should be around 7, right? And this is very tightly regulated, but it's the pH in the blood. The pH in our stomach is 1.3, 1.4, so very acidic, because it needs to break down all the food we just ate. So apple cider vinegar and a good form, so raw, unpasteurized, first of all, is very acidic. So it's around 4, the one I have here. So it helps with breaking down of food because it creates a more acidic environment in our stomach. And people that have issues with their stomach, digestion, GERD, and all these things, they should actually try also apple cider vinegar before every meal. And also because it's raw and not pasteurized, so not heated, it comes with many enzymes, which actually help kickstart the digestion. So I think it's a really simple remedy. Yeah, I think it's really, I do it most days, basically. I think it's, many of my clients as well have done it and found it really helped them when they had digestive issues. And same for salt. I mean, salt is actually a category by itself. Probably I should do a little webinar for it. Salt is very key for digestion. So we need to salt our food to taste, unless you have particular medical issues. And digestion depends on salt. Digestion, absorption, and elimination. So the whole process is very, very tightly regulated by the amount of, in this case, sodium that we have. So again, in order to have proper digestion, we need to have salt.
It's almost like counterintuitive, isn't it, with the apple cider vinegar? Because you think if you've got sort of like acid reflux, you're actually almost like adding an acid to the stomach. But again, it's the right way to help digest food. So that's I think an interesting point.
Yeah, acid reflux is a situation of not enough acid. So yeah, we need to make instead of taking pills, I mean, it's also possible, but I think first step is something that is acidic, and then you take it from there.
Fabulous. Hot drinks as well. Tom's, what are you drinking there, Tom? Nice cup of tea, coffee?
As I would have finished that as well, but my daughter just came from school, and she's she's waiting for food, so this will be for food. So yeah, apologies for not.
Oh, so you're going to take? So you need to go and take the food.
But my daughter. So I'm staying hungry, it seems, or something. I don't know. I'll prefer something else. But today was a crazy day, so yeah, this is reserved for my daughter. That's the point.
All right. Joe, how are you getting on?
Oh, I love it. I don't know about all this protein stuff. And I remember last time when Panagiotis talked to us, wondering about eggs, but he's just mentioned an omelette, so I'm happy now.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I'm sort of pescatarian, so I'm on the right lines, I think. Yeah. I'm a bit unprepared because I've been doing Tai Chi in the park with a group in my village this morning, and it was so beautiful. We just ran on and on. So that's why I'm late.
That's all right. And I mean, the good thing about this is it's really quick to do.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
Forget, don't you, how if you saw that as a dish prepared, I'd be like, oh, I haven't got time to do that at lunchtime. But actually, it's so quick and easy to do. Well,
I always do cook my own food from scratch, and I grow microgreens and things like that, shoots. So yeah, so I like having stuff, call it my crop. But it's just all little bits in jars and trays on my windowsill, really. But I enjoy having it. It's constant, you can just pick at it.
And
it's a great feeling, isn't it? Because it's just something you have grown, it's quality.
No pesticides or anything. No, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
You enjoy it twice.
And presumably you can really taste the difference.
Well, I don't know, because
Did
my
you-
latest thing that I absolutely love is sunflower seed shoots. And they're just there's so much texture in them. They're lovely, but I never had them before. So, I mean, I've been growing them now for about a year, but and that's what I've just got here. But you don't get them in shops, you know.
No, I've never heard of that at all.
You get the seeds, but you know.
Yeah, but not the
Yeah.
shoots.
Yeah.
I think
So
that the important thing is also the soil. So you can buy from the supermarket, you know, bio stuff, etc. Okay, which is protection mechanism of, you know, not having safe mind that you don't get chemicals into your system. But taste-wise, I mean, the taste really comes from the minerals that we have that are in the soil, right? And over agriculture is actually a real thing. It's a mass production, so you can buy the best quality, but still will be tasteless.
yes, it's good. I do. Yes.
I
It just amazes me that from a tiny seed so much can come. I mean, when I look at, I'm going to Scotland tomorrow morning for a week to search for ancient trees, for the remains of Caledonian forests. They're very ancient trees in places where they still survived, or their descendants. I just amazes me that a whole huge tree that weighs so much can come from a tiny little, you know, acorn or whatever. I'm in awe of it all the time. So I love growing stuff. Yeah.
That's fascinating. Is that with an organized group, or how did you get into that sort of like idea, and where are you going? Because Tom's in Scotland.
Well, I've got loads of books on trees, and somebody bought me as a present just a fortnight ago something called Tree Line, and it's by somebody Rawlins. I can't remember his first name. Somebody Rawlins, and it's beautiful language. You know, every sentence you could just kind of dwell in. You know, it's really lovely. And he is. I mean, it's a tale of how what a disastrous point we are in the evolution of Earth. But it's not without hope, and he's so enchanted by these ancient trees and the remains of these ancient forests that sort of managed to come after an ice age. You know, first there's moss, and then there's lichen, and then there's leaves from little, you know, bilberries and things like that. And eventually you'll get birch is one of the first trees that colonizes. And eventually you get pines, and then you get forests. And then man will come along and start cutting bits down. So, but in places where it's really high and craggy and boggy, he hasn't managed to take it all out. So it's still a bit there. So there's loads of places around the country where, well, not that many, and some of them are really impossible to get to. And there's one marvelous tree, I don't know how many hundreds of years old it is, on an island, but he describes in this book how he had to swim a kilometre to get there. I'm not going to do that.
How he had to what? Sorry, I missed that. How he
had to swim across a loch in Scotland to get there to this island to discover this tree. Yeah, but I hope to be hugging a few. I love feeling the energy of trees, you know. Yeah.
And there's a lot of science in like the network of the rooms and the networks under the tree, and the vibrations from trees, and the grounding, earthing. And again, there's science out there, not loads of it, but I think more and more people are understanding it's not all woo-woo. There's a lot in it.
No, I've got so many books now. I love books as well.
we have lost our connection with nature. Nature is giving us everything we need, or should be. So, and it's grounding, what Ray mentioned, the sun, light, very important stuff. I want to say as well, I mean, you've probably seen in the news, etc. The last, not now, but quite often, I mean, there are fires because of heat, and not only in Greece, etc. And again, not only in Greece, but all over the world. And there are big parts of Greece which are actually very sad, basically, that the whole forests are regularly burnt, and you go by them, and then you see this total
Yes.
black, right? But after years of nature, if man does not intervene, or let's say if we help and don't disturb, then nature finds its way. And most of these burned areas are actually now given time. So after 5-10 years, you see they're back in life. And
it's amazing how it comes back. Yes, yes.
It's amazing.
I'm a climber, and our climbing club is in Wales, our hut, and the valley was about 10 years ago. There was a big fire in the valley, which is all forest, and how quickly it came back. I was just amazed. Went up the following year and didn't expected it to just be black, and it was all burgeoning with greenery. Yeah.
You should consider coming to Gray. Someone else is waiting in the room.
They're all late for lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there was a mix-up with time zones. But you should come to Naxos. There is, I don't know if you've seen the retreat we're organizing with Gray. We have in Naxos there is the mountain where Zeus was born, allegedly, and there is the most amazing hike up. So which we will do. It's part of the agenda or calendar, so we wake up hopefully early enough, and we hike up to the top where you see the whole Aegean. And I've done it 3 or 4 times, and every time I feel amazed about the path as well, because you see all the island, but then once you reach the top, you really see every single island around.
Yes.
And it's an amazing hike. And I think hiking generally, I mean, I would like to do more of it. It's just, here, there is no hiking. It's all
I am tempted, yes.
Yeah, there's something about the sort of like the horizon and looking at the space around you. And I was when we were in Scotland as well, and as you say, hiking up a mountain, there's something about taking in that vista that actually helps from a parasympathetic point of view, actually to help relax the body as well. So there's a lot of information on that. Someone who just joined us there, on Nasima just joined us. You've missed our lunch, you've missed our cooking, but there will be a playback, so I can send you a link to the playback as well. But if you've got any questions about anything, then do just open up your mics and shout in. We've got another couple of minutes just before we finish off. And I've actually never met Panagiotis in real life, so I'm looking forward to that. And actually, you're over in London, aren't you, in May, because it's the health optimization conference that you're doing. So I'm hopefully going to get to that and meet you before I come over to Naxos.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. Great. Yeah, so we haven't met, but I'll be there. So I'm actually honored in a sense, because on the 28th of May, I'll be participating in basically for, I think, what I consider the biggest event, health event in Europe. So there's a similar one also in the States, or the more events, but this is pretty huge. So it's actually let's say the Mecca, or the center where we get to know everything about the latest technologies, products, biohacking, and research that's coming out around health. So I think there are more than 100 speakers, and I will be part of the exhibitors. Yeah, maybe I can meet some of you. If maybe we organize something Gray the day before, or something of that sort.
That's a good idea, actually. Well, definitely. If you're in London, I can't not meet you in person.
Yeah, we have to.
we have to. You just get so used to meeting people on Zoom.
The last 2 years have changed completely our way of communicating. So, which is positive. I guess you meet so easily people, but as well the interaction meeting with someone face to face is completely also different.
And I think it'd be great, like you offered there, to do more of these. So if people are interested, we can do another lunch and cook. And I really want to do the mussels and red sauce. It'd be quite nice to try some of the traditional Greek meals. Also, maybe some of the stuff that we will be cooking in Naxos. Maybe a little taste. We might even be eating this over there. And we are going to do, in a couple of weeks' time, just a Facebook Live. If anybody's got any questions, I know we've mentioned the retreat today, but we will be doing a Facebook Live again, a Facebook Live in a couple of weeks' time, what is specifically going to be about answering questions on Naxos on the retreat. So it's really nice to find out a little bit more about it if you're interested in doing that retreat. But we will certainly do some more of these lunch and cooks and lunch and learns as well. Anybody got any other comments or questions before we go and have our chocolate cake dessert? I did buy some cheesecake, but I might save that for tonight. I have to finish the mussels off because I bought a whole pack of mussels, so I'll have those for dinner tonight. Anybody else got any comments or thoughts or questions?
So share some pictures, guys. So that is always nice.
I can't. I ate it.
Yeah, that's true. It's gone.
I think it's lovely to get together, and it always amazes me how Zoom is so fantastic that you know, we're all interacting with each other as if we were, you know, right in the same kitchen. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's really good company. So I thank you all very much.
Thank you as always.
Vashin Blasta. That's Gaelic for that was tasty.
I like it.
What's Greek for that was tasty?
Polynostima.
Kalinastima.
Poly.
A polynastima.
Yeah, indeed. Nice one.
Poly.
I think you're fluent there. Are you fluent, Keith? You sound pretty fluent.
He fluent. No, I'm not. In fact, I've got some friends in Corfu, and we go there many times. But I learned Greek, and I can speak a little bit, and then every year I just forget it, and it takes me a week or so to get back into it again. I know the words, but I don't know what they mean.
You know the words, you don't know what order to put them in.
I kept asking for the bill, and I was saying "din catalavino," which means I don't understand, and I kept saying "din catalavino." What I meant to say was "Kilogarius paracolo," and so the whole restaurant was just descending into laughter because. But I know if you try a little bit, the Greeks love it. You know, they love it for you to make mistakes and just get into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey.
I think it's like any language, isn't it? If you try it, then people are grateful that you are trying to speak it.
But it's dangerous to sound too fluent because then people will speak to you and you
Absolutely.
hear what they're saying.
And you just go. Brilliant.
Well, here's in Germany, you say, do you speak German or do you speak English? Whatever it may be. And then the answer is always a little bit. And a little bit can be like from nothing to super fluent. Like it's always a little bit. So it's really fun.
Or a little bit could be a little bit. That could be the only thing you can say.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
Which tends to be my case when I go over to Spain. Excellent. Anything we want to finish off with? Anything you want to say, Panagiotis, before we finish the session and we let you go and look after your daughter?
No, I really enjoyed it. Let's do it again, and I hope to meet you soon and see you some of you guys face to face.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. I really enjoyed that. It's a good first experience and I'm definitely up for doing it again. I'm sure we all are up for joining again. So I'd like to thank you so much. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you both.
weekend. And if you've got any questions, any comments or anything you need, any more information on, you know where I am. If anybody wants to contact you directly, Panagiotis, what's the best way to do that? Because I know you have loads of different
Actually,
courses.
so first of all, I will probably upload the recipe into my posts or stories into Instagram. So I'm always active on Instagram. You can follow me there, ketOntrack. And I'm accessible via all of the means. So Twitter, Instagram, website, ketOntrack.com. And yeah, I'm happy to have a chat offline if you wish.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you all very soon. Thanks for joining.
Take care.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.